The time is 2:49. This is Detroit Today. I'm Craig Fahle. Thanks very much for being with us, and thank you for your support. We certainly do appreciate it. We're going to wrap up the program today talking a little bit about a new office that you may have noticed if you happen to be driving down Woodward in Midtown Detroit. Michigan State University has set up shop in our neighborhood, and here to find out, well, we're going to find out why right now. Our guest is Hiram Fitzgerald. He's the Associate Provost of University Outreach and Engagement and also a distinguished professor in the Department of Psychology at Michigan State University. And Dr. Fitzgerald, welcome to WDET.
It's my pleasure to be here.
You know, Michigan State, you're sort of invading our turf here at Wayne State University, as the University of Michigan did just a couple of years ago. But clearly, this new building is not the beginning of Michigan State's presence here in Southeast Michigan.
No, we actually invaded your turf quite a long time ago. We have been involved for a long time in the automobile industry through our industrial organizational psychology programs, personnel selection, engineering programs, and we've been connected to the Detroit area pre-college engineering programs since the 1970s. So Extension has been down there for a long time. So we've been in Detroit quite a long time.
Well, talk about the importance of having a physical space here, one that's really readily identifiable as well.
Yeah, we actually have two physical spaces there. The new building that has opened up for the College of Music and College of Education, but we also have a space in Youthville, 3,000 square foot research space. And the importance of that is you're an hour and a half away from us. So for us, for Michigan State University to have effective programs in Detroit, we have to have places for our faculty and academic staff to come down, places for our students to meet at so they can have supervision from faculty and sort of have a home away from home in the heart of Detroit. So this enables us to be much more effective in our collaborations and partnerships around the metropolitan area.
Well, the building, as you mentioned, is going to house some educational facilities, but also the Community Music School Detroit. Tell me a little bit about that project and what's going to happen there.
Well, the community music is also going to have a jazz component that the folks of all ages who are interested in jazz can come in. It's going to have a children's choir. We hope that this will be a way to build upon our connections with the Detroit Symphony, with the Michigan Opera Company, with children who are interested in music, and build a foundation of access to Michigan State and other institutions of higher education in Michigan for students who want to pursue those kind of careers.
Well, you mentioned, Detroit and music go together. I mean, obviously, that seems to have been a component in your decision.
Well, it sure is, and although we're not doing bebop and blues, we are doing jazz. So we think that's a strong tradition, and we have a strong jazz component to our College of Music here. We've had performances at Youthville already, and we're looking forward to building that program to the strength it can have by connecting directly in Detroit.
My guest right now, Hiram Fitzgerald from Michigan State University. We're talking about the new MSU Detroit Center, which has officially opened now, just a couple of blocks away from our studios here at WDET. One of the other things that's going to be happening here, the College of Education teacher candidates is going to have space here. Tell me, who is going to be utilizing this space? What's this going to be for?
Yeah, Sonia Guttings-Moulton is a key person in the College of Education who's connected with those programs. They are student teaching training programs. We're trying to emphasize opportunities for our future teachers to have experience in urban areas. We're also trying to recruit students from urban areas who will come and get their teacher credentials and then return to those urban environments to teach. So this is a very concerted effort on the part of the College of Education to try to upgrade the quality of instruction in urban environments.
It's interesting to me, Mr. Fitzgerald, or Dr. Fitzgerald, that, universities no longer are centered on one campus any longer. It almost seems that in order to survive, the larger universities in particular need to really, have their tentacles extending to many different locations. Is this just the beginning, really, of a larger presence here in Detroit for Michigan State?
Yes, we actually have about 12 of our colleges with programs in Detroit. So we could take the whole 15 minutes or an hour and 2 hours to talk about all the connections we have. But any land-grant institution, and in fact most public institutions now, recognize that the problems of society are in society. They're not on our college campuses. I mean, we have our own sorts of problems, but the problems and solutions to those problems have to be achieved by working directly in communities, combining our knowledge and skills with the knowledge and skills of members of communities so that we can jointly come up with effective solutions.
It's interesting that we have now a University of Michigan facility right across the street from a Michigan State University facility right in the shadow of Wayne State University. Is this important, you think, for Detroit to have this renewed emphasis, really?
Absolutely essential for Detroit. Studies by the CEOs for Cities organization have demonstrated that if you can increase by 1% the number of residents in a metropolitan area who have a higher education degree, you add $750 per capita to the economic base of that community. So just think, if the combined energies and involvement of these research universities can help contribute to Detroit enhancing the number of residents who have higher education degrees by 5%. That's an enormous economic impact for the city.
My guest right now, Hiram Fitzgerald from Michigan State University. He is the Associate Provost for University Outreach and Engagement. Also, he is a professor in the Department of Psychology at Michigan State University. We're talking about the new MSU Detroit Center, which officially opened earlier this month. The building itself that you have chosen is 22,000 square feet, which is a pretty significant space, much larger than you've had here in the community before. But tell me about the building itself and why you chose the location you did.
Well, I think we wanted a location that was close to the heart of the arts and culture activities of Detroit. So being right there on Woodward Avenue puts us close to the DIA, to other kinds of arts and cultural entities. And it's a spot that the residents of Detroit can easily access, and they have a sense of where we are because they know where all those other existing arts and cultural organizations are.
So, but it's also a historic building. It was recently restored. Was that something you took into consideration?
Well, we're always interested in helping to preserve parts of history, sure. But we were location, the ability to get the square footage necessary for choirs and jazz. I mean, these sorts of performance programs take a lot of space. So we needed to combine all those elements into the selection.
Well, and that is Dr. Hiram Fitzgerald of Michigan State University, Associate Provost of University Outreach and Engagement, also a professor in the Department of Psychology, talking about the new Michigan State University office that opened here in Midtown Detroit.